Hi, in this video I'm going to share with you the story of Satyavati. Satyavati has a huge role in Mahabharata. In the last video we shared the story of Ganga on how she met King Shantanu, her marriage with King Shantanu and their son Devavrata. In the end, Ganga leaves Shantanu and takes with their son Devavrata. Many years passes by in loneliness for King Shantanu. He often felt very lonely and sad because of not having any family members in the kingdom. To kill his time, he picked up a new sport to go hunting when he was free and used to rest near river Yamuna where a beautiful fragrance often used to soothe him. He enjoyed the peace of mind and fresh fragrance that he got at banks of river Yamuna. One day he decided to find out the source of that fragrance. He found out that the fragrance was coming from a beautiful lady far away who worked as a ferrywoman. Her name was Satyavati. To spend time with her, he went and requested her to take him to the other side of the river. He started meeting her often for her services and started interacting with her during boat trips. Both developed strong liking towards each other after spending a lot of time together. How did Satyavati's body emit such fragrance which Shantanu was attracted to? For solving that mystery, let us look at how Satyavati was born and raised. Satyavati and her twin brother were born to a fish named Adrika. Adrika was an angel who was cursed to be born as a fish and give birth to humans in the fish form. The twin children were presented to King Uparichara, who accepted the male child and raised him in the kingdom and discarded the female child, who was later named Satyavati, to be only raised with those fishermen. The head fisherman Dushraj adopted the female child. A strong smell of a fish constantly came out of that girl child because she was born in the fish's womb. Dushraj named that girl child as Satyavati. But she was often teased as Matsyagandha. Matsyagandha means one who smells like a fish. Growing up, Satyavati helped with her father's job of fishing and being a ferrywoman. She grew up quickly into a beautiful woman, but due to a strong fish smell that was coming out of her, no one used to come close to her and even take her services and used to avoid her. One day, Satyavati was feeling very sad, and a great rishi named Sage Parasar asked for her service. Prior to that, Sage Parashar had spent intense time in meditation for many years. Sage Parashar was a great grandson of Sage Vasishta, who is one of the Saptarishis. Sage Parashar asked her to take her to the other side of the river. A great saint Vedvyasa was born to Parashar and Satyavati. As Satyavati helped Sage Parashar in bringing a great saint Vedvyasa to earth, he gave her a boon that replaced her fishy smell with a beautiful fragrance. Vedvyasa was born on the island on the other side, of river Yamuna. He grew up instantaneously and asked her mother's permission to leave so that he could do penance in the forest. Before leaving, he also promised her mother that he would arrive for her mother's aid whenever she wanted. Sage Parashar also left and never met Satyavati again. Now we know how Satyavati got her fragrance, which attracted Shantanu, and we also now know how sage Vedvyasa was born on the island to Satyavati and Parashar. Back to Shantanu again, and his desire to marry Satyavati because of his attachment to her beautiful fragrance and her beauty. For that, Satyavati asked King Shantanu to ask her hand in marriage to her father, Dushraj. Dushraj was a fisherman chief who raised Satyavati. Dushraj was pleased to have a king ask her daughter's Satyavati's hand for marriage. Dushraj said, Satyavati's condition to marry would be if Satyavati's son would be the heir on the throne and not anyone else. At this time, Devavrata, son of Ganga and Shantanu, was already declared as the heir of King Shantanu and was a very able prince. Shantanu was shocked hearing this. Let us understand why Satyavati put this term of marriage. Remember, back when King Uparichara had rejected Satyavati when Satyavati was born and only took his brother to the kingdom, that event had a deep impact on her and she developed a deep desire to reclaim what was hers and to be a queen. She had a deep desire to enjoy all the happiness and objects that a queen has at her disposal, and so she asked that her sons be the next kings. This is a point of deep contemplation. Is it okay to have deep desires? But what happens when one's deep desires are not fulfilled? Was it okay for Satyavati to snatch what was rightfully Devavrata's throne? Especially when Devavrata was already declared as prince and a heir to the throne of King Shantanu. When desires don't get fulfilled, that is the time when one can either seek for true knowledge and still do the right thing as per dharma or righteousness, or one can do adharma, non rightful things that cause humanity to suffer for one's own personal gain. Think. In Satyavati's terms of marriage, she was subtly very ambitious and super farsighted in her thinking. She was deeply aware of her original status as a queen and wanted to regain it. If Devavrata was to become the king, she would be a mere stepmother, a dasi, or a servant to the king Devavrata. This was not acceptable to her. She had a deep desire to regain her status of being a queen, which was not fulfilled so far. She knew Shantanu was deeply in love with her and could exploit him at this time. This was her opportunity with King Shantanu. Her desire was very deep, and there was hope for it to be now fulfilled by having these marriage terms. She chose non-righteous way to attain her desire, which was not the right thing to do if she truly loved King Shantanu. Shantanu, on the other hand, had a feeble mind, constantly looking for peace and happiness outside. What will King Shantanu agree to Satyavati's terms? If he does, what happens to Devavrata? Does Satyavati's desires get fulfilled? What happens when one's deep desires are not fulfilled? To know the answers, stay tuned for the next video. If you have questions or comments, please add them to the questions or to the comments section below, and I will respond as soon as I have a moment. If you like the video, then hit like and subscribe to my channel for more upcoming videos. Thanks.